Well, hey, San Francisco Bay, thank you. Monterey, my name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with Your Healthy Living here in San Jose. Campbell.
Yes, and we have a wonderful guest that Kat Voce, our friend
on
a couple weeks ago, recommended to us, Revital Carroll. Welcome, Revital.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Wonderful to have you. You're an internationally acclaimed performer and teacher of classical Indian dance. That's unique.
Well, we get a lot of, we've had people from all over the world on this show. Do you realize that?
We really have.
Boy.
I know.
See what you've been missing.
It's just like
all over the world.
We're a melting pot here. We should have all these
are.
amazing dances and people from all over the world sharing what they're doing and the very best to help us be healthy. Yeah. And this is classical Indian dance. She's the founder of Shakti Bhakti School of Dance.
I like that name.
I know. We're going to find out more about that.
Shakti Bhakti.
Author of the award-winning book Mudras of India and creator of 3 instructional dance DVDs, which we will have inserts of so that people can see why Kat Voce was raving about her. And Kat's church asked Revital to come and even teach, and she teaches all over the world. And there's a reason for that, because this is really special treasure dance of the world in the sense that it combines dance, mudras, breath, etc., that brings everything together. She says it's like yoga, but with dancing.
So it's like ancient stuff, is that right? Or is this isn't like modern dance like that?
It is
jiggerbug or something.
It is an ancient dance form, correct?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
It's very beautiful. Look
initiated in the temples of India, in the ancient temples.
Really?
And so, you have dedicated your life to the practice of yoga, meditation, and classical Indian dance. How do you experience the connection between these 3 traditions, Revital?
So all 3 traditions has to do with developing connection to divine nature within us and around us. And essentially, they're all about cultivating awareness, consciousness, and awakening our potential and fulfilling our potential.
And you were telling us earlier that when you were 20, you went out and you went to India and you discovered dance.
Yes. Well, I went to India with a spiritual quest. I was very interested in yoga and meditation. I knew nothing about classical Indian dance. Never heard of it, never saw it, absolutely not aware of it. But I got invited to see a performance of it at a temple, at a very old temple, actually, in Orissa, in Southeast India. And when I saw this dance form, I immediately felt like I've done it before.
So it's kind of like a connection thing. So you went to study yoga, but and I'm guessing it's similar to yoga in
It is
some
very
aspects.
similar to yoga in a lot of aspects. It's shared the philosophy of Tantra yoga. It's about connecting, like you had mentioned earlier, Shiva and Shakti, the masculine and feminine principles of the universe in our body, connecting heaven and earth, connecting with our breath, connecting with our what we call Kundalini Shakti, which is the raw life energy that we have at the base of our spine and the lower belly, where we have all our reproductive system. Mm-hmm. And it's about awakening that energy and taking it up into the heart, into the center of affinity and expression, and essentially cultivating our capacity to express our creativity.
That's really great. We've been running into this a lot. You know what I mean? That very
healthy living is about doing things.
It's so zen.
The natural things you can do to help your own health.
We're going to get more into this. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
At Way of Wellness, we help to rebalance the hormones of your body so that it can heal itself. Way of Wellness offers acupuncture, Chinese medicine, functional nutrition, Qi yoga, and wellness coaching. Call 408-615-1995 and start living the life that keeps us well.
Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alex Andrew.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with Your Healthy Living, talking about some more Zen stuff, which is a little, I kind of think this is more modern because you don't think about it. We've had several shows on yoga and kind of this Zen
we had
meditation.
Dance for Life with Amy Lee.
Dance for Life, yeah, stage 4.
Stage 4 cancer survivor.
Right.
Reversed with dancing.
And then we had a Kundalini yoga person.
We had Jackie Brown, Kundalini, and then we had Jake Hartinger.
But this, being that it's
Kundalini
dance,
yoga.
initially it was to me like, wow, it's just dancing, it's whatever. But as I've, we're kind of doing the pre-interview and getting more into what's happening and what's going on, it's more spiritual. And I guess that's what you were saying right before the break too, that we were, you had this connection, if you will, to the dance when you saw it.
Yes.
Which I would guess is probably more of a connection from a viewer standpoint than yoga. Would that be true?
That is correct. It is a performance art form.
Right.
So, for instance, even when we do a mudra, when we do a hand gesture in yoga or in meditation, you do it for yourself. You can keep it real close to you. But when you step into the stage or even into the classroom, when you practice dance, you always have an awareness of connecting to your audience. You bring your hands a little bit away from your body and you create spatial harmony. Mm-hmm. And you think about the community and the elements around you. And in a way, we always think about our audience, or about anybody and any beings around us as our beloved. So it's in a way, it's making love with your audience through dance.
Wow. Okay, so I could see that performance part. It's all about the connection. When you're by yourself, you're performing for yourself.
Correct.
And when you're not, you're performing for the audience. And like you said, I like that. I might have to start doing Indian dance.
Yeah.
Could I grow my hair really long? And I don't know if I'd fit into your little dance outfit there.
You could use a wig.
I could use a wig. Yeah, that'd work.
How did you come to the path of classical Indian dance? I know you went there to study yoga, but when you saw it and you just had this feeling, I've done that before, where did you go and learn it?
Yeah, it's been a long journey for me. I started, so when I was in India, I grew up as a nature girl. I never lived in the city, and all the good dance teachers and dance schools were in the big city, and I couldn't even conceive of living in a big city in India. So I found a little ashram for dance. It's called Gurukul. It's a school where you stay there, you live there, you eat and sleep there, and you dance pretty much all day. And I just showed up when somebody told me about that place. It was actually a satellite school of the most well-known school of Odissi dance in Orissa and in the country of India. And so the guru would come in the summertime and teach classes, and it happened to be summertime, so it was a good time. Yeah. And I showed up and said I want to study dance, and they said welcome, and I started. And it was a lot of hard work, but it captivated me because it really works on all levels. It works very much on an intellectual level, on a spiritual level. It has a lot of mathematics. You have to learn rhythmical patterns, which I'm fascinated by. I love math. Right. And I think a lot of dancers do, because there's a lot of rhythm.
Right.
And there's a lot of power, a lot of strength, and at the same time a lot of grace and fluidity. And as I already mentioned, that connection to the divine essence within us, that capacity to really step into ecstasy and union with your own self as well as with your surrounding is really profound. And I did it on and off. I did it for a few months, and then I ended up taking a slightly different journey. I was very much still had the identity of a yogini, and I ended up taking a little bit of a side path of getting married and having a child and having my baby in India and spending a few years just raising her when she was real young. And then continued to practice yoga, to teach yoga, and not too much dance for those first few years of her life. And then I just felt called to it again. I met another dance teacher from my school, and it all came back, and I felt like this was my path, the feminine path. I find it the yoga that has become more modern tend to be more masculine in my perspective.
Really, I could see that. Yeah,
and
it's
more
strength moves and poses. I could see.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pushing through. With dance, we have a lot of grace and fluidity and fun. And basically, I love to move. I like to exercise, but I don't like to exercise in a way that is not fun. Like I would never go to the gym because it's not fun for me.
I don't go to the gym either.
I don't either.
And so I find through dance, I get everything I need. I get my strength exercise, my strength training, my flexibility training, and my a lot of coordination. So a lot of work with connecting the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and a lot of philosophy, a lot of studies, studying a different language too in the process, studying the whole.
Because you've written this book, and you have the Sanskrit names for the mudras?
Absolutely, yeah. We worked with a Sanskrit scholar to get all the correct terms in Sanskrit.
And these are all very ancient hand postures that align the body, mind, and soul, essentially, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And what is the name of the book?
The book is titled Mudras of India.
And where can people get that?
They can get it on Amazon.com as well as at ShaktiBhakti.com, which is my website.
So you and your husband wrote that, and then you've made these 3 DVDs that people can do at home.
Yes. The first one, Temple Goddess Workout, it's really, it's more for the layperson. It has a couple of exercise, dance, yoga type routines.
Okay,
as
so
well.
That's something someone could do at home.
So it's it's kind of like an exercise video?
It's an exercise video. It's designed to trim the waist, tone the bottom, the legs, and basically get your body to look like the body of a goddess.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
Definitely.
Honey, we're going to be doing some dancing. I'll do it with you, I swear. I don't care if the neighbors are watching.
It's great for men too, honestly. And it's, also opening the joints, creating fluidity in the joints so the energy can move smoothly and improve circulation.
Well, we had Amy Lee on here, and she was telling us of all these studies about the power of dance for reversing a bunch of diseases and people needing less chemotherapy when they were struggling with cancer.
They healed faster.
Remember that?
Yeah,
and it was like just any kind of dance was helpful.
Absolutely.
And this is like a medicinal dance.
It is very medicinal. It's healing. It's healing in a way that it purifies your heart. It connects with all your emotions. There's a lot of emotional expressions in Indian dance, so you have to tap into this storage of emotions in your vital organs. So it's related in that sense to Chinese medicine, to Ayurveda. It's working with all the 5 elements in the 5 fingers. We do the mudras, which have healing capacity as well as expressional intention, and we're using the eye movements for focus, for directing energy and controlling the mind, so the mind can stay more focused.
So, like in Chinese medicine, anger and frustration are housed in the liver, and worry and such are housed in the spleen or the earth element, and fear in the kidney, adrenal, water element, and overexcitation in the heart, and grief in the lungs. And so what I'm hearing you say is that this modality, given that Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine came from Tibetan medicine originally, that this is a form, we have Tai Chi and Qigong, which is a form of flowing movement in China, but in India we have Odyssey dance.
Correct.
That brings it all together.
It's very similar
I just never knew about
Qigong
this.
and it's kind of a combination of Qigong, yoga, martial art, and dance. We do a lot of spiralic movement with our wrist, and we move a lot of rib cage to sort of move the energy from the pelvis to the heart, connect us to centers, and in the process, connect with the belly and with all the vital organs and sort of wake up the spirit.
This is the coolest.
Well,
I think I would have liked to have learned this.
I think what it sounds like...
I wasn't a huge fan of Tai Chi, although I think Tai Chi is great. I like dance better.
I think Odissi, is that how you say it?
Odissi dance.
I think Odissi is a healthy. I got to guess people live longer, but we got to run to a break here. So we'll be right back after this commercial break. You're listening to KIYS Radio.
I do traditional Chinese medicine, and that includes 5 different branches: acupuncture, massage, yoga, tai chi, qigong, herbal medicine, and nutrition. It is amazing in helping the body heal itself, that it releases the body's natural endorphins, serotonin, and seems to rebalance the hormones of the body.
Lower back pain was taken care of very quickly, 6 treatments, and I was pain-free. And this was like 3 years ago, and I've remained pain-free.
I've grown up in the Bay Area, and I have had my own practice for over 15 years. When I was 12, I decided I want to be an acupuncturist, and by the time I was 25, I was licensed.
I have thyroid condition and stress, big time. When I walk out, I'm feeling like a whole different person. It's definitely a blessing to be able to come here.
I love helping women have babies, and the day that they actually get pregnant, the look in their eye is like, it's the best thing ever.
I've been struggling trying to get pregnant for the past 3 or 4 years. I came to Shasta. I would totally recommend her to anyone out there that is trying to get pregnant. She will do great for you.
Way of Wellness has to do with living a life that keeps us well.
Hi there, this is Alexander with It's All About the Show. You know, I've been with Money Concepts since 1994, and they have been the primary catalyst for my success as a financial advisor. If you're looking for a career change and you want to help people for a living, check out moneyconcepts.com/ALEE or call 946-8378 today.
Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back talking about some stuff that I never even thought would have that much to do with health and living.
And I'm sure the Indians have known about this, but us Americans, have we known about Odissi dance? I've never heard of it.
Well, one of the things that I'm thinking as I'm listening to Revital talk about this is that I got to guess the people who do this, and I assume it's mostly women in general, right?
In the U.S., it's mostly women.
Right.
In India, there are a lot of men who do it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a real healthy exercise, and it's more than an exercise. It's kind of like we talked about, like some of the martial arts types forms. It's a meditation. It's an emotional release. It's a physical release.
It's a spiritual practice, and it also connects you to culture, so it has a cultural component to it, and it's a health regimen, as you mentioned. It helps you to ground, connect to the earth, build strength, build your bone density. It helps to prevent a lot of common diseases that do happen for a lot of people when they age, such as Alzheimer and Parkinson's disease. It helps to keep the brain sharp. You know, people say that there's a lot of scientific research that says that we should always continue to study, to learn something, right?
Right.
But I find that if you always just learn with books, it kind of exhausts your brain and exhausts your eyes. It's also too much sometimes. I think our culture is really focused on learning with our brain. With dance, you get to learn something new, but you get to involve your body.
Right.
So it's much more rejuvenating kind of practice. It's a rejuvenation learning
No, I
type.
think it just sounds so much
activity.
like it. You know, we talk about Shakti and Shiva and the Kundalini and all of this stuff that's really bonding the parts of your body, you know, like, similar to acupuncture, right? It's keeping those meridians open so that everything flows like it needs to be. And, you know, I have to say, I was a huge skeptic of this probably about 15 years ago of all this kind of stuff. I grew up, a lot of doctors in my family, you know, we grew up, you know, let's do the 2-dimensional thing. Well, you're feeling like this. Well, it must be this. Well, let's see if that fixes. Nope, that's not it. Well, let's feel, okay, that now here's a drug that masks all of it. You feel better, but, you know, what are the side effects? Well, I don't know. I can't remember my name. Well, that's not a real good side effect. Whoops, I'm sorry. I almost pulled your headphone out there.
That's not a good side effect. Well, they say Alzheimer's is diabetes of the brain. So if
Wait a minute, diabetes of the brain.
that's basically what they're saying, that Alzheimer's is when the body everything starts to wear out and the receptor sites start to wear out, and it's all about getting enough blood flow and having oxygenated rich blood to keep everything alive in our brain, in our heart, in our cells,
and
in
you
our
gotta
muscles.
move.
You got to move.
You got to move.
And dance is perfect. And I was talking to you earlier about the Ramayana from Mount Madonna Center, where I went to school in 7th grade, and my yoga teacher, Baba Hari Das, taught us some of the stick fighting and some Kathak dancing.
Yes.
And you said that they hired you to come up and teach for the Ramayana, which is the largest.
What is it called?
Ramayana. It's
Ramayana?
like the
Ramayana.
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 It's the Indian story about good and evil and how we can overcome it with love. And we have the largest one on the whole United States at the Mount Madonna Center, and they hired you to come up and teach some dance. How did that go? Were you teaching the monkeys how to dance? The kids acting like monkeys.
Who were you? I didn't know there were monkeys up there.
Yes, they're so cute. You have to check out the Ramayana at Mount Madonna Center.
No, I was not teaching the monkeys. I was teaching the, honestly, I don't know what they were. They were like the ensemble of dancers.
Yeah.
So, and it went really, really well. They were very receptive, and they were just great kids.
I bet that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So it's great that they got an experience of that at a young age.
It's wonderful.
And so are you teaching, you teach here in Los Gatos, are you teaching younger children?
Right now I actually only teach adults of all ages, young and old and in between.
Yeah.
And I do not teach kids right now.
No.
Yeah.
Do you teach in corporations? I mean, I remember how we had, I'm not trying to, remember how Jazzercise was huge?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, why can't a DC dance be?
Wasn't that from Maniac or something? Maniac. Was that Jazzercise?
It was Jane Fonda. She led the
I love
movement.
that song.
Well, to be honest with you, this is a more intricate and complex dance
more
form.
complex,
It's a classical dance form.
Yes.
It's just like you would bring ballet into a corporation. It requires a little more dedication.
This is a sophisticated type of dance that takes...
Well, because it sounds like your mind, you have to get your mind involved in it, where that was more of an aerobic type of a thing.
That
right?
is true too. You have to, it's about cultivating awareness.
So how often do people need to come, and for how long to be able to start to really get it? Get the benefits?
I think that people get the benefits right away. A lot of people report that they did get benefits.
I know Kat did. She
right
said
away
she loved
because they feel the aliveness in their body. They tap into earth energy. They feel connected to themselves. They move parts of their body that they never knew that exist, muscles they never knew that exist. And in the end of a class, they feel accelerated and, in joy and in peace and connected. And also, I've had people come to me with injury, with feet injury, ankle injury, knee injury, hip injuries, shoulder injuries, all sort of injuries. And oftentimes they report that they get better because it frees up the innate healing energy in our body.
Right.
And
it breaks up the scar tissue and everything.
So from that perspective, you get some benefit right away.
Right.
But if you actually want to train as a dancer and be able to go to the full spectrum of what this dance form has to offer and take it all the way to blossoming into presenting it on stage, I want to say that you want to practice at least a couple times a week regularly. You want to come to class once a week, and you want to do it for at least a year in order to go to the full spectrum of everything that it has to offer.
Well, I got to guess you got to get your physical body in shape too to be able to do it.
You
because
would have
it sounds
to be in
like
shape to do it.
It does have an aerobic aspect, I'm going to guess,
and
that physical muscle building aspect or lengthening, muscle lengthening.
Well, and you said that it's not, they don't use tabla drums, but they use similar.
Similar drum.
That's very fast beats.
It is. It's a percussion. We start slow and we build up to speed, but there is a rhythm element. There is a flow element.
It's very complicated.
There's different layers. We do one thing with our feet work, another thing with our hands, another thing with our neck movement, and our rib cage movement, and our eye movement. So there's different layers of movement that all need to be coordinated and put together.
Wow.
So it's very
This is
systematic.
so
We go
wonderful.
step by step. Everybody can do it, and I'm actually really passionate about teaching people who are not necessarily coming from the dance world, because I can see them transforming in front of my eyes. And it's just such a beautiful thing to usher somebody into a practice of dance who has not had it in their life. And a lot of people, I think a lot of people in our modern culture have a sense of, oh, I don't have a rhythm, or I don't know how to dance.
Right.
And I say, if you can work, you can dance. You can dance even if you cannot
I
work.
think you're right. I think, though, that's a belief system a lot of people have.
It is.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
and you do see some people that just can't dance. But I think it's probably because they've believed they always couldn't.
They
and
believe they can't.
I know somebody out there is probably going, yeah, well, I really can't dance. Well, that's because you believe it, you know?
Just
what the mind can conceive and believe, it achieves. And if you
Exactly.
believe you can't do it, hey, guess what? You're not going to do it.
And you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, if it gives you delight, then why not?
Right. Well,
Right.
especially, you know, one of the
It
things
gives you health.
one of the things I wanted to ask real
and
quickly.
a beautiful body.
Yeah. You know,
Why
that's the
not?
best thing about this show. I get surrounded by beautiful women all day. Nothing against, I love my beautiful wife, Gretchen, because she's gorgeous too. But you know what? The energy that these people have, if you're in the studio, it's awesome. It really is.
We have an amazing guest here
So
today.
so
She's-
let's just
this
show
is
a couple of the things you have here. Why don't you hold them up and tell them real quick, because we
Sure.
only have about a minute left.
Okay.
Just right in front of that
Right
camera
here.
there.
Okay, this is the book that I co-wrote with my husband, Carroll. It has over 250 hand gestures, explain the healing, spiritual, and expressive quality of these hand gestures, how you can use it to heal a host of different issues, as well as cultivate yourself
Right.
as a human being.
yes.
Okay.
And
What is your website?
my website is shaktibhakti.com.
And they can
That's
get
an SH with a BH before it, right?
shaktibhakti.com. And people can buy these products on your website or on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
And so show us.
And this is one of my DVDs. It's called Temple Goddess Workout. It has one routine that is a yogic routine. It's a yoga routine for cooling down and stretching out after a dance practice, and two routines that are yoga dance.
And so
And
you got
love it.
3 of those videos.
Got
Why don't you
3, and
show
what
us
are
the
those?
cards you have here?
Yeah, we have 2 sets of cards that are created. One is for yoga mudras that are more focused on spiritual and healing, and the other is for dance mudras that are helping you to tap into your creative energy and help you express yourself more precisely and
It is
deeply.
so amazing to meet you and what you're
Yes,
bringing
this was
to
great.
us.
It was so nice to meet you. You have
Thank
great
you very
energy.
much.
You
I love
do.
that. I was getting tired before this show, and I'm
And
feeling
can
good
we
now.
follow you and we'll be able to see when your next shows are?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just on your website,
Don't
right?
forget to check the KIYS Video Web Radio Network, KIYSradio.com, and check out our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us on Your Healthy Living. My name's Alex Andrew.
Dr. Shasta.
Bye-bye.
Bye.